Hello, everyone. This is Janice Goldschmidt, Director of Nutrition Services at CSS, and I would like to present this short presentation on 10 simple activities for drawing individuals into food preparation. So often we have an idea in our heads that cooking is really standing at a stove and stirring a pot, but all around us and throughout our day are food-based activities, and many of these are ideal for drawing those with cognitive or motor impairments into participation. This video is going to define 10 types of participatory activities that do not require specific ingredients or advanced skills or any type of special appliances or tools. For each of these 10 ideas, there is also what we are calling a breakout video that defines the topic in greater detail. If you feel that anything in this video is appropriate for those individuals that you support, I encourage you to view the pertinent breakout video and get more details. And with that, let us dive in. So often when we think of cooking, this is what comes into our head. The image of someone standing at a pot and stirring. And of course, this does happen, of course, but if you think about it, most of the ways we get our food come in, a variety of different complex ways. Not even probably the predominance of our calories come from stovetop cooking. And more importantly, stovetop cooking is just not appropriate. It's not safe for the vast majority of the individuals that we support and work with. So let's take that image out of our head. This is not what we're going to be talking about today at all. We want to think of cooking in two sort of different ideas. One is development of food preparation skills, and food preparation happens in lots of ways. And the other idea that I want to put in your head is food skills. These are skills that support cooking. All the many ways that we have to do to set up the cooking activities, including cleaning and shopping and things like that. So let's take away the stereotype we have and put in a new one of a lot of diverse options. So the first basic activity I really want to strongly encourage you working with clients on is the idea of hand washing. Hand washing isn't a cooking skill, but it's the single biggest activity we do before we begin cooking. Nothing is as effective for preventing foodborne illness as washing our hands. And of course, in these days, hand washing is very important for preventing the spread of infection and viruses. So I'd like you to take some time working with your clients on development of hand washing skills. What is effective hand washing? Well, the government regulations tell us that you need about 20 seconds. That's an awfully long time to be washing hands. And what I suggest you do is you make it into a song and a game. And the song should be based on something that's about 20 seconds long, which would be a good one is Happy Birthday. At the same time, make it pleasurable for the individual, depending on their sensory needs. But typically what works well is some fun-smelling soap, warm water, not too hot, not too cold, just pleasurable, and then a big fluffy towel. And then you model it in front of them. You can wash your hands with them. You're modeling the activity so they can visually see you washing your hands. And then you're singing along. I like Happy Birthday. It's about 20 seconds. It goes, Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear so-and-so. Happy birthday to you. If singing the birthday song makes them think they're going to get cake, you might want to switch to the alphabet song. It's about 20 seconds as well. The second skill set I'm going to strongly encourage you to work on is the idea of spreading. It can be a very difficult and challenging skill to learn, and what it really needs is a lot of practice. In the teaching kitchen at 9055, we do a lot of spreading activities, and one of the favorite things is the peanut butter and jelly kit. And you can see there that how we put it out is there's individual serving sizes. And that's a skill that has to be learned as well. But regarding the spreading, we want to start with really soft materials. Oftentimes I'll work with a client by giving them very soft butter on a cracker. You can almost blow it on, but with a wide one of those, you see that black spreading knife in the picture. If you need some of those to help do a spreading activity, you can reach out to me and I'll have some forwarded to you. But you'll give them some something to spread and something to spread it on, peanut butter and bread, something on a cracker, and you give them lots of opportunity to practice. And the key here is you've got to let them do it. We're not doing them any favors when we spread it for them. One of the great activities would be a little bit of peanut butter on a graham cracker. If you break a graham cracker in half, I give them a little peanut butter and the graham cracker. If they're successfully able to spread it on the bottom part, they can put a top part on and make a little graham cracker sandwich or some such. If they're struggling with the spreading in the beginning, soften the spread that you're using. Again, a very soft butter makes a very good introductory ingredient. The other thing that works really well is a whipped cream cheese is very easy to spread as well. But learning to spread things on bread is going to take them a long way because there's lots and lots of options once they learn to spread. A really important skill set to work on when you're leading an individual towards independence in cooking is cutting, learning to cut ingredients. And of course, there's a significant concern about safety. We use these knives from Curious Chef. We buy them online from Amazon. They're about 3 for $9. If you do not have any of these adaptive knives in the kitchen at the residence where you work, please reach out to me and I will make sure you get some. And these are very, very safe. We have used them for years. We've never had a cut. They work very well on a lot of ingredients, but not all ingredients. And they work very well for most clients, but not all. A client who has motor problems gripping the knife, or who doesn't have enough power to put into the knife are not going to do well. This knife requires a back and forth motion that we typically teach in the teaching kitchen with a little song, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And most of the individuals really like it. So what I recommend for teaching cutting skills is to position them with this knife and help them to cut some very soft things. Hard-boiled eggs are ideal. Baked potatoes, cold baked potatoes work very well. Cutting up a banana is a very nice activity. You're going to want to avoid anything like raw meats. That's very difficult. You're going to want to avoid cold potatoes, almost impossible. So really hard, rigid things are not going to work well in learning to cut. But having them learn the skill set on something very soft is ideal. So having them prepare a potato salad with cold eggs and cold hard-boiled eggs and cold potatoes is perfect. Having them prepare a fruit salad. If you want them to cut something like apples, you're not going to want to give them an entire apple. You're going to give them pieces, and that will make it possible for them to cut up harder things like that. So again, the key is they need lots of practice to internalize how cutting comes about. But with these knives, it's possible for them to be introduced to cutting in a very safe manner. There are some ways to do actual heat application in cooking that are quite safe. And one of the ones that I adore is small appliance cooking. Of note, the toaster is incredibly safe. Most houses have them, and most individuals can be taught to use them very easily, and they can get to independence with a toaster. There are so many things you can do with a toaster, and I know you're thinking, toast and butter, but there's so much you can learn to spread. Remember, we talked about spreading as a skill set. There's so much you can spread on toast and make it into a meal or a very significant snack. But having the individual independently prepare their toast is a great skill set to work towards. And it's really hard to get hurt using a toaster. It's a very user-friendly appliance. So I encourage lots of meals and activities built around the toaster. Another approach you need to consider when you're trying to involve individuals in food preparation is collating meals. Collating meals are merely add 2 things together, add 3 things together. The classic example is milk plus cereal equals a bowl of breakfast, right? Now, there's a lot involved there. Most times individuals don't have estimation. They can't tell you exactly how much cereal or how much milk. And you can start by, giving them, a container of the cereal. You can even buy them in individual servings and a container of milk and having them just mix it together, the independence. But work backwards from that so that then they're pouring the milk themselves. And when they have that, they can start pouring the cereal themselves. And when they have that, they can get the milk and the cereal and the bowl and the spoon. So we're going to backward chain here. We're going to start with the ingredients and having them mix it, and then move backward to give them more and more, train them in more and more of the skill sets. But there's lots of collating meals like that. Tuna plus mayonnaise equals tuna salad. Peanut butter plus jelly plus bread equals a peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Those kind of collated meals are ideal for drawing individuals with challenges into food preparation. There are some instant cooking projects as well that are usually very popular with individuals learning to be involved in food preparation. One of the classics is instant pudding. It requires a box of pudding and some milk, and then in 5 minutes you have a very nice dessert. Now, I'm not encouraging desserts. I doubt any of our individuals need more dessert. However, I like pudding in the sense that a lot of times individuals are not getting enough calcium. So it's a great way to get them to consume calcium with enthusiasm. But there's lots of other instant products like that. Another one is instant mashed potatoes. Things like that where simple mixing creates a meal or a recipe or something that can be consumed. Look under, if you're curious for these kinds of things, look under Instant in Peapod, and a host of products will pop up that are available. Another way to draw individuals in is to potato prep. I'm a huge fan of potatoes, using potatoes to draw individuals into learning some skill sets. And I happen to know that the 7-5 Kitchen is sending out some potato kits in the coming week. So it might be ideal for you. What you do is you teach the individual the 5 steps to prepare potatoes for baking. We wash them, so just a brush and some warm water. You wash them and then you dry them off, which can obviously be skipped, but we typically do it, through the motor planning. And then we roll them. We roll them up in a piece of aluminum foil, a simple prick with a fork, and if you're concerned about them using a fork, you can also give them a corn on the cob holder. That's a very nice way to punch holes. And then you count them. So we count the number of potatoes. This is an ideal way. If you start with 4 potatoes, you can have them build from that, 4, 5, 6, and you can literally quantify their progress. Then they go in the oven, and when they come out, they're a meal. You can serve a potato with so many things, a meat, a side vegetable, some butter, some cheese. It's very satisfying and has a lot of fiber, and the individual will really take pride in having a large role in the meal. So wash them, dry them, roll them, poke them, count them. Potatoes are a great way to teach introductory food preparation skills. Well, we also obviously have a lot of concerns about overeating, especially when people are sitting around bored. So I'd like to do a lot of food-based activities, not just eating and not just cooking. One of the things I love is a day-long or a week-long game of fruit and vegetable bingo, where you get a bingo card. You can get them online, and they can cross off every fruit and vegetable that they've consumed. They're obviously going for bingo, and that is going to promote variety, which is great. You can also do fruit and vegetable bingo as a color bingo, so that if they eat their colors, they make bingo. And here again, you're promoting variety because they want to cross off as many boxes as possible. You can give a prize for the first person who gets to bingo, et cetera, and it's a great residence-based game. The other thing I really like is having individuals look through media, mostly magazines and newspapers, for pictures of their favorite foods. They can create collages. And if you do some, let us see them. I'd love to see them. I can certainly put some of the pictures of them in the nutrition newsletter, Food for Thought. So it's a great way to draw them into the realm of food, but without promoting increased consumption. Likewise, another activity that is terrific for drawing them into food skills without promoting more eating is the dishwasher. The dishwasher has so many tasks involved. When you're loading the dishwasher, it's about finding the right placement in the dishwasher. And nowadays, the new ones are so powerful that we don't have all the same rules we used to have 10, 15 years ago. You could only do these on top or whatever. Make sure that the knives are not an issue. Take them out of the equation for individuals with challenges, and help them learn the rules of where the silverware goes, where the plates, spoons, whatever. It's a great activity for them. It's just as important in the after they've been washed in putting them away. Now, when you're putting clean dishes away, you're learning the spatial layout of the kitchen. And so many of our clients get served. We need to start making them active in the kitchen. And one great way is to learn where things go. Putting away dishes is an ideal means of doing that. So have them involved in the dishwasher activity. One last cooking activity that I really like, another small appliance that is super safe, is the slow cooker. If your house has a slow cooker, you should be aware that we have a huge collection of slow cooker recipes on our cooking tab at the CSS website. And these recipes are very simple. All they are, you do is put some ingredients in the pot and then you turn it on. It is very safe. The individual cannot get hurt. They are capable of, if you get the ingredients for them, and you are capable of working with them through the picture queuing system in our recipes to get them to do it independently. Even if there's no reading skills, our recipes are all picture-based. And a slow cooker meal is very satisfying. They can prepare it in the morning for the evening. You can actually even use the evening time to prepare breakfast and prepare it in them. So I'm a big fan of small appliance cooking, and the slow cooker is one of the safest. And there I am. My goal today was to inspire you to think about food and food preparation in a whole new way. And I hope I've opened up lots of ideas in your head about how you can draw individuals that you support into the food preparation process. If you have any ideas or questions or concerns about this video, please feel free to reach out to me at the contact address. As I said, there is a breakout video for each of the 10 topics I introduced today, and I'm going to refer you to that if you want more details. And I hope to see you in one of those breakout videos.